This is KGW News at noon.
A landmark ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court this morning will mean that former President Donald Trump will stay on the primary ballots across the country. Thank you for joining us here at noon. I'm China Green. The unanimous decision from the Supreme Court reverses a ruling from the Colorado State Supreme Court. That ruling disqualified Trump from running for president under a section of the 14th Amendment that bars people who participated in, quote, insurrection from running for president. Now, the Supreme Court's new ruling dictates that only Congress can determine how that section is enforced, not individual states. Trump thanked the Supreme Court for their decision.
I want to start by thanking the Supreme Court for its unanimous decision today. It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs.
In April, the Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the case of Trump's claim of presidential immunity. Back here in Portland, a new MAX station is open today after weeks of disruptions and delays on the green, red and blue lines. The Gateway North MAX station connects the airport to City Center using a new track and 2 new bridges. Now, this is part of TriMet's Better Red project, which is expected to wrap up this summer. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler spoke at a press event to mark the station's opening, saying that the addition will bring positives to the city.
It connects us economically, it connects us socially, it gives people the opportunity to get around town easier, and so I think this is just terrific for us.
The new station offers new shelters, lighting and digital displays, as well as walking and bike paths that connects it to the transit center. The project was supposed to be completed last week, but January's winter storm set the opening date back a little. Next, TriMet plans to open an extension of the Red Line to 10 MAX stations out to Hillsborough. That should be completed by this fall. And within the last hour, we have learned that a bill that would keep Oregon on standard time has passed the Senate. After failing the first time, Senate Bill 1548 got approval after some changes there. It would do away with daylight saving time and put Oregon permanently on standard time, but only if Washington and California adopt the same bill. Now, the bill will now head to the House for consideration on that. All right, before we go to Rod, let's check out this video of snow out on the Oregon coast this morning. This was taken by KGW photojournalist Ken McCormick along Highway 26 in the Coast Range. Not exactly what you head to the beach for. Rod, it is very January in this March.
Yeah, why don't we pass a resolution in Salem to actually start spring weather in March? That would be fantastic, right? Here we are 4 days in, and yeah, this is absolutely January weather in March. If you look at highs that have been 43, 44 degrees the last several days. A lot of snow spots around the area. This was on the hilltops down in Oregon City this morning. Rob McGee sending us this shot of just a dusting of snow. And then you get up into Sandy, where they've been accumulating some snow, I believe, the last several days in a row, as the daytime snow levels have been somewhere around 1,000 to 1,500 feet. And then at night, we get those lower snow spots, which we had again over the weekend. Ann Cunningham sending that shot in from Sandy this morning. We, in fact, still have a winter weather advisory for the Coast Range, sticking snow, obviously, and also the foothill communities of the Cascades and into central Oregon. Then we have the winter storm warning in purple into tonight down in southern Oregon. Pretty good storm, could dump over a foot of snow at 3,000 feet and higher down in southern Oregon. Cold trough aloft, the same pattern we've had for days and days, kind of a rain-snow mix, still showing up on the radar. Now, here it is out in the Coast Range. Claskenine getting some rain, but there's a little bit of a light snow mix down in Jewel. And real quick, I do want to show you Coast Range highways. They've been melting off by the noon hour the last several days. It's 38 degrees, but they picked up so much snow that it hasn't quite melted yet. In fact, we still have snow on the ground at Willamette Valley Vineyards down south of Salem. Portland's temperature is 42. Another day where we probably go no higher than 45. Changes are coming, though. Warming changes. That's ahead of my 7-day.
Rod, thank you. Now to the latest in the saga of the Alaska Airlines flight that lost a door plug midair over Portland. 3 more passengers who were on board that flight are now suing both Alaska and Boeing for $1 billion. The plaintiffs say that they feel lucky to be alive, but also say they're experiencing PTSD type symptoms since the night of that flight.
Where we live, we hear a lot of, plane sound, jet sounds and stuff. So that kind of just triggers like hearing that sound again. And no, we have not been on a plane since, and I'm not sure when that will happen again.
That was one of the passengers behind the billion-dollar lawsuit. We reached out to both Alaska and Boeing for comment, but both companies declined. Late last week, the FAA gave Boeing 90 days to develop a plan to fix its quality-related problems. House Bill 4002, designed to recriminalize hard drugs in Oregon, made its way through the state Senate and now only needs signature from governor to become a law. Already, some in the state are pushing back, though. A group called Unite Oregon raised concerns that the move will negatively impact Black and Latino communities. Ashley Grahams has those details.
For justice! For justice! For justice! For justice!
Shouts from the Capitol Saturday afternoon.
We won't go back to the war on drugs!
As some Oregonians push back on the passage of House Bill 4002.
Is declared passed.
The Oregon Senate approved the bill Friday, partially rolling back Measure 110 by making drug possession a new kind of misdemeanor and toughening enforcement against drug dealers. Something social justice advocates say will disproportionately affect Black and Latino communities.
Our biggest issue is the racial impact that it'll have on our communities, which was clearly stated in the racial impact statement from the legislature.
The state released a racial and ethnic impact statement in late February. The report concluded that in some areas there will be a racial disparity for Black and African American individuals, resulting in a higher rate of convictions.
We're also going to keep a close eye on data as it pertains to race. I know there's some concerns about that.
Despite the concern, Republican Senator Tim Knope says the goal of the bill is not to go back to the war on drugs.
The war on drugs decades ago disenfranchised minority communities. Our goal is not to put people in jail or in prison. It's to stop drug dealers from dealing death, essentially, which is what fentanyl is.
When we vote, we'll remember this! We'll remember this!
Many of them said in their speeches that they did not enjoy the racial impact statement, that they understood the harm, and yet proceeded to vote yes.
The bill now awaits Governor Kotek's signature, the last hurdle before the bill becomes law. Ashley Grahams, KGW News.
And across the river at Washington, the legislative session ends this Thursday. And with the end in sight, lawmakers are pushing to approve 3 voter-backed initiatives. They're expected to vote on them today. 2081 deals with parental rights regarding education. 2111 bans Washington from establishing an income tax. And 2113 gives police the ability to pursue suspects who have broken the law. Back in 2021, Washington restricted pursuits to only DUIs, escapes, sex crimes, or crimes involving violence.
Each one of you has a huge opportunity to prevent future tragedies from happening. Please listen to the 420,000 Washingtonians who signed the initiative. If the initiatives pass, they will become law. We'll let you know what ends up passing, and again, the session ends Thursday. The School of Rock Lake Oswego has had to make some major adjustments after the rehearsal space was badly damaged by flooding during January's winter storm. Students were able to temporarily practice for their season shows at School of Rock's Portland location.
The first feeling was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then immediately, John immediately went to, we need to get these kids on stage, because we were ready to do shows. We were literally just 2 weeks away from our season shows.
The school went virtual for a time before they were able to find 2 temporary practice places at Rivers Gate Church in Southwest Portland and Blue Butler Studios. But the challenges aren't over yet. The owner says that the original studio is covered in mold and it could take months to find a new permanent space they can call home.